What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Once again, I bring you another Fear the Walking Dead video, kind of a discussion video I want to dive into regarding the first half of our last string of episodes of Fear the Walking Dead, kind of give my thoughts, my reviews, and what we could possibly see going forward with these final episodes. Season 8B, with these final string of episodes, they really started out pretty poorly. At least that first episode, titled Anton, that was focused around Victor, his new identity, his new family, and just this weird shit that he was doing to kind of retain all that, to maintain that lie. Because it is revealed within that episode that he made up this whole false persona of Anton. He's not Victor Strand, and this is a lie that he maintained with this new man in his life and his adopted son. And just, we find out also in that episode, we come to find out a lot of these characters, I can't remember their names, the Trucker twins, I'm just going to call them that, and the rabbi and the twin brother of the man that tried to come kill Morgan, we find out that they all died, that they were killed off screen. Not a huge loss because the characters, they just weren't holding up their weight to the story. They didn't have a whole lot to offer to the story. They were okay. I didn't mind them, and just they played out their part, and they got to a point where they didn't know what to do with them anymore, I think, and they just decided to kill them off screen because the actors themselves came back and said they were not asked to come back, which we can see why now. Then moving on after that one, we had episode 8, Iron Tiger. This was all, I believe, to give Charlie her goodbye, because this was another character that we believed was going to die, that we did not have any confirmation on, and we had no idea what happened to her. We just assumed that she was killed off screen with the other set of characters. But it turns out that Charlie got the treatment that she needed to recover from her radiation poisoning, and she was under Luciana, who also, again, another character that disappeared. We didn't know what really happened to her, but it was revealed that she had been working under Padre's thumb in the shadows as part of their fuel refinery operation, and that is where Charlie had since ended up. She was since part of that operation as well. She had gone under the code name of Iron Tiger because they were still communicating over radio. And as the episode went on, it turned out that Charlie was simply brought back just to kill off, just to be done with her character and kind of push the story forward. As we saw that she was killed off, she sacrificed her own life to save the location of Padre because she was picked up by Troy, tortured for information, and in the end she got the upper hand and decided to end her own life because she was not going to give up that location to where all these kids were living, this community that was safe. Because to go along with that reveal, we got the reveal of Troy having a daughter. That this was Troy's motivation for trying to find Padre. He wants somewhere for his daughter to be safe along with anybody else's kids, because it is revealed that we do have other kids within his group, and he just wants somewhere safe for them to be, somewhere where they can grow up and not fear the wasteland that is the world and deal with the dangers of walkers and other people. So this is Troy's reasoning and his motivation to get Padre, and he was willing to torture Charlie for this information, but she, in the end, didn't let that happen. And so that was a decent episode. It was good to see her character come back, have a proper send-off under her own terms, even if it was unaliving herself. So that was a decent episode, because Charlie was never one of my favorite characters, mostly because, yes, she killed Nick, but it was that actor's decision to leave because I guess he didn't like the direction the show was going and he just wanted to get off of it. But moving on, we had our most recent episode titled Sanctuary. And if you can't tell from the episode, it's all about Dwight going back. And when he gets back to the area of the Sanctuary and Alexandria and all these other communities, it's been many years since the war. The Sanctuary is in utter ruins, and he's kind of pulled back into this situation where he has to help someone, but it's all for naught. And then in the meantime, too, while trying to help this guy, he gets pulled into another altercation with this very small group that turns out to be not anything. I was hoping that we could possibly see some callbacks to the Saviors. Maybe a few of them had survived and they were trying to rebuild, and that's why they were in the Sanctuary. But it just turns out this was some random group of guys that took advantage of the Sanctuary being there. And, they still had a lot of the leftover medical equipment and things, so they took advantage of that. And it was you could say it was kind of a filler episode, but it was to give Dwight and Sherry even the chance to close off that part of their life, to give its final goodbye, because we saw any remnants of Negan's empire, Sanctuary, come down, tumbling, complete rubble, and so that part of their life is over and they could say goodbye. And going forward, we have next episode, episode 10, which is titled Keeping Her Alive. This could mean a couple things, I guess. Obviously, they're on the search for Alicia. Madison's out there trying to find Alicia's Walker corpse because Troy told her that she's dead, and she's not going to go against that for whatever reason. And at the same time, in the sense with that title, Keeping Her Alive could be seen as keeping her memory alive, building Padre to what she would have wanted it to be, and just keeping her around in that sense. Because maybe we'll get confirmation that she's dead. I hope not. I hope they don't go as far as to kill her, because I think that would just be dumb. And I've expressed this in other videos. It would just be cheating the fans, really, to kill her off screen and not give her the goodbye that that character deserves, having been there since the beginning. So with these first 3 episodes, that is the last bit of Fear the Walking Dead. And going forward with the last 3, they're definitely building up to that big battle. What that battle means, I'm not 100% sure yet. Could we see Troy die? More than likely. It would just make the most sense. It would not make sense to bring him back just to keep him alive, to outlive this show where we could possibly never see him again. But there's still maybe the possibility too that they won't just flat out kill him, that they will give him the opportunity to maybe go his separate way with his daughter, so his daughter is not left without any parents, because he had talked about in the previous episode how Madison was somehow responsible for the death of her mother as well, and we don't know who her mother is. This is supposed to be the woman who supposedly dug him out of the rubble of the dam explosion, and somehow along the way Madison got her killed as well. She could have very well run into her during her time as the kidnapper, or the, I can't remember what they call it now, for Padre, swiping up all these kids, and it's very possible that she could have come across her at some point, but it's hard to say. And just kind of going from there too, as we have in this next episode, we had the return of Daniel and Luciana, and them leaving the last episode, I think that could have served them as an okay goodbye. It wouldn't have been the best one, but we see them return and they're dealing with this battle for Padre again. And as always with this universe, there's this possibility that we could see some people die. I'm really getting the feeling though that we're not going to see any of these main characters die that have been around since the beginning. I think that we could possibly see everyone go off and get their happy ending. There's still the 50-50 chance that Elisa's actually dead and Madison's going to have to put her down, and then who knows what's going to happen to her. If that's the case, I could see her leaving Padre. I could see her just being like, well, I played my part here. My daughter's dead. I have no family left. I need to go out and figure out what I'm supposed to do next, and she can't be a Padre to do that. So there's very open-ended possibilities, I think, with each of these characters, and what that could mean for future appearances and the other spin-offs. In most cases for these characters, I don't think their characters appearing in any of the current spin-offs would make any sense. Just because with previous story developments and just with the characters themselves, they wouldn't fit in those parts of the Walking Dead universe. It would be kind of silly, and it would really be pushing the value of these characters beyond what they're really even supposed to be playing out. But anyways, guys, that is my review for Fear the Walking Dead, the final episodes so far. I think we could possibly see a halfway decent ending for this show, because definitely there are seasons and episodes that are very questionable, and they lost a lot of fans along the way. But I think they're going to do right by us fans, hopefully, and give everybody the closure that we all need for this show, because this show had so much potential starting out, and then they just I don't know, they got different showrunners, different producers, and just threw it in a million different directions and just pissed a lot of people off. But that'll do it. If you enjoyed the video, please be sure to leave comments, leave a like, and subscribe to the channel. I would really appreciate it. So until next time, guys, I will see you later. Bye.